Now at 9, placing a perspective on history, how one high school teacher shared his revolutionary story this afternoon.
And we're recapping one holiday that was observed over the weekend, how Ball State's Global Harmony Club ringed in the celebration.
Plus, the trial for the Rust Armorer has come to an end. We have the latest on her sentencing.
And a law was passed in Idaho over gender reaffirming health care, what this could mean for minors looking to transition.
And we had a rainy week last week and a little bit more rain in the forecast as well as some storms. I'll time that all out for you in my full forecast.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks for joining at 9. I'm Daniel Hochsteller.
And I'm Abby Urban. We begin this evening with a Bluffton High School teacher who discussed a historical event that personally impacted him.
NewsLink Indiana's Emma Mylock has the details.
In the summer of 1961, Tom Schwartz was in Germany as an exchange student. At the same time he was in Germany, the Berlin Wall went up, which would soon change everything.
In 1961, the wall went up, and it started with barbed wire and concrete blocks, and people realized very quickly that this would be one of their last chances to escape.
Today, Schwartz hosted a talk regarding the history of the Berlin Wall at Westminster Village in association with the E.B. and Bertha C. Ball Center. Some of the things that the talk touched on was what life was like living with the Berlin Wall and how that affected everyday life.
And one of the iconic photos that I showed in the presentation was of Konrad Schumann, one of the border guards who actually jumped over, and there's an iconic photo of him you can find in almost any history book of him jumping over the barbed wire into his own freedom.
Schwartz says being an exchange student in Germany at the time the Berlin Wall was put up has had multiple influences in his life. Not only has this experience been extremely influential for Schwartz in his personal life, but his career too. Now Schwartz is a teacher at Bluffton High School.
The fact that I taught happily for 40 years, and I have to admit I was spoiled teaching a foreign language, especially German. I had good students.
Now Schwartz gets to expand his experiences to a new audience. In Muncie, Emma Matlock, NewsLink Indiana.
Visit the event calendar for the Office of Community Engagement on Ball State's website for more conversations throughout the school year.
The Thailand New Year, also known as Songkran, fell on this past weekend. Ball State's Global Harmony Club hosted a Songkran celebration in honor of the holiday. The event began with speeches, a traditional parade, water pouring ceremony, dances, and music. The overall message behind the event was to embrace the culture of the Thai New Year.
This evening provides a journey through Thai culture. The Thai Root Grand Songkran exhibition will showcase the essence of the Thai New Year.
The event also offered Thai food, an art exhibit, and competitive activities centered around Thai culture. The club's president said his hopes for the event was to share their culture and bring people of different backgrounds together.
Well, definitely beautiful weather this weekend that we had in Muncie, and even more beautiful weather today. I was so excited to be able to go outside and enjoy the weather over the weekend. So what do you got for us, Oliver?
Well, we are still going to be seeing some warmer temperatures, but we will be seeing some rain throughout this week. So far here in Muncie, we have gathered almost 5.5 inches of precipitation. That's almost 3.5 than what we normally see for this time of year. Now, if we get enough rain as we make our way through this week, we could be reaching one of the wettest Aprils on record, but what we're tracking in my full forecast, again, more rain on the week, and we could be seeing some storms midweek and then a little bit of a more mild weekend. I'll have all that and more in my full forecast.
Thank you, Oliver. All eyes are on Israel today as the country's war cabinet met for a second day in a row, weighing how to respond to the wave of drones and missiles launched at Israel by Iran over the weekend. Cole Higgins has more.
President Joe Biden addressing the weekend's unprecedented escalation of violence in the Middle East for the first time publicly.
The United States is committed to Israel's security. We're committed to a ceasefire that will bring the hostages home and preventing conflict from spreading beyond what it already has.
Nearly 350 projectiles were fired at Israel by Iran and its allies in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon. Israeli military officials say 99% of the munitions were intercepted with the help of the U.S., Jordan, and the U.K.
We have been coordinating a diplomatic response to seek to prevent escalation.
Israel, however, is considering not only a military response, but also a diplomatic one that could further isolate Iran on the world stage. The country's war cabinet met Monday, deliberating for hours over the timing and scope of a response to Iran's attack. President Biden and other world leaders urging restraint and seeking de-escalation.
We don't want a war with Iran. We don't seek to widen and broaden this conflict. We don't want to see things escalate.
Jordan's foreign minister says he believes Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is using the fight with Iran to distract from the war on Gaza.
Now, as the international pressure on Israel to stop the aggression in Gaza continues, invoking a fight with Iran is something that we believe he thinks could dilute that pressure and could take attention away from Gaza.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
In the meantime, both party leaders in the U.S. Senate are urging the passage of a bipartisan national security aid package that includes funding for Israel. That bipartisan Senate bill is currently stalled in the House.
The Rust movie armorer convicted of involuntary manslaughter will serve the maximum punishment for her crime. A jury found Hannah Gutierrez guilty last month for the 2021 on-set shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. She was acquitted of a separate charge of evidence tampering. Gutierrez Reed's job as armorer made her responsible for gun safety and storage on the set. Hutchins was killed when a live round of ammunition fired from a prop gun that actor Alec Baldwin was holding. Prosecutors had asked that she be sentenced to maximum prison time, arguing she had not taken any responsibility for her actions.
A decision today made by the U.S. Supreme Court allows Idaho officials to temporarily enforce a statewide ban on gender-affirming care for most minors. Idaho's governor signed a law last year that makes it a felony to provide treatment, including hormone therapy and puberty-blocking drugs, to transgender minors. In February, the state filed an emergency request to block an order from a lower court that stopped implementation of the law. Today's high court ruling allows Idaho to enforce the law while the lower courts deal with questions related to the issue.
Coming up, one group on campus held their final showcase yesterday. The heartfelt reason some left with tears in their eyes. Next.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. An a cappella group on campus just celebrated their seniors, and the members are feeling a little blue.
Our Sophie Schick has the details.
Within a sea of microphone cables lives an a cappella group trying to make waves through their voices in signature blue. This group is the Parallels, established in 2015 at Ball State. Recently, the Parallels hosted their annual solo show, Something Borrowed, Something Blue, to wrap up the semester and say goodbye to the seniors. Before their tribute to retiring members, the ensemble filled the room with high energy and lively performances. But all good things must come to an end. As the Parallels come together one final time through tearful eyes, they sing their way to the end of the show. But really, they get choked up just thinking about it.
Both people who sing alto 2 with me are seniors, and I'm losing them, and it truly feels like I'm losing pieces of my family.
The seniors and everyone else in the group have just been like a really solid support system for me, and just like a really good group of friends.
In a bittersweet moment like their final performance together, one senior is able to find a silver lining, and she finds it with a smile.
A lot of it, like the words are like, I'm sorry for going away. Everyone gets really emotional, but we always invite back alumni, and they come up on stage and sing it with us because it's something that we've had since we started in 2015.
Before setting their microphones down for the final time, the seniors reminded young Parallels to keep singing and to always bleed blue. In Muncie, Sophie Schick, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you're interested in auditioning for next year, go to bsuaca.org. Let's send it over to Oliver for a preview of weather.
We could be seeing some severe weather in our forecast, but I'll have all that and more after the break.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When tornadoes touched down in parts of our viewing area, NewsLink Indiana kept you informed days in advance.
You do need to be seeking shelter.
Marginal risk of severe weather.
And days after.
The roof has been ripped completely off of this house,
giving you a first-hand look at the communities affected.
When your neighbors lose their house and you don't, how lucky you are.
The first to alert you of severe weather before it happens. NewsLink Indiana Weather.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm weather forecaster Oliver Moster. We had an outstanding day out there today, and those warmer temperatures are going to continue as we make our way into tomorrow. 68 degrees here in Muncie, 70 down there in Indianapolis. And as we zoom in a little bit closer to East Central Indiana, we are going to be seeing about the same story in those upper 60s and even 71 degrees there in Portland. What's not going to stick around, though, are these clear skies that we saw through most of the day. We are going to be seeing increasing cloud coverage as we make our way into tonight. Lows dropping into the lower 50s and seeing easterly winds coming out of the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Winds do start to pick up as we make our way through tomorrow. Again, cloud coverage there in the morning, 10 to 15 miles per hour from the southeast here at noon. We could be seeing a chance of showers as we make our way into the early afternoon hours and could be seeing some sprinkles as we go throughout the evening. 78 degrees there for your high there at 5 p.m. Again, cloud cover sticks around. We could be seeing another band of precipitation going into the overnight hours of Tuesday. But what I want to draw your attention to now here is the severe threat for tomorrow. We're currently at a level 1 of 5, so we shouldn't be seeing too much of anything. Could be hearing a couple rumbles of thunder as we make our way into tomorrow night. But the big story here, we are under a level 2 of 5, slight risk for severe weather on Wednesday. Now, most of that will most likely be firing up around the Ohio River Valley, but we could be seeing some thunderstorms, could be seeing some damaging wind as well. Now, we can never rule out the threat for a tornado, but the biggest thing with this system that's going to be coming through Wednesday afternoon, damaging winds, could be seeing a little bit of hail, and that's sporadic heavy rainfall going into the afternoon. Now, timing all of that out when we're going to be seeing that precipitation. Again, like I said, Tuesday around noon, going to be seeing a little system move through here, and there's going to be basically 3 bands of precipitation going through. So as I put this into motion, zoom in a little bit, see here early morning on Wednesday, another band of precipitation coming into east central Indiana, and then zoom in a little bit further, could be seeing again that early afternoon shower, a little bit more of that yellow down south near Cincinnati, but again, could be hearing a rumble of thunder, could be feeling some heavier rainfall. Clouds clear out a little bit on Thursday, and then we do start to see another chance of precipitation early on Friday morning, but that leaves us with a very, very mild weekend to look ahead to. 78 degrees again there for Tuesday, that chance of storms here on Wednesday. Cooling off a lot as we go into the weekend. 59 there for your Saturday, dropping to the mid-50s on Sunday, and then partly cloudy skies return there on Monday, 60 degrees for a high. So really just a beautiful weekend that we have to look forward to, but just got to get through a little bit of rain, a little bit of storms before we get there.
Absolutely. You know, last weekend and today, beautiful weather. And you know me, I usually complain a lot about the weather being snow, rain, or anything like that. I can't have no complaints today and this weekend. It was great.
It was lovely.
It was great. It was perfectly fitting for today. You know?
I mean, those April showers will definitely bring the Mayflowers, but always stay weather aware and stay safe. But thank you so much, Oliver. There's plenty more to get to on NewsLink Indiana, and Jace Miller has a preview of sports.
Thanks, guys. One Ball State program continues to swing for the fences, and a fever is overtaking the city of Indianapolis. All this and more next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows. Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jace Miller with sports. Ball State football quarterback Kyle Kelly has entered the transfer portal. The rising redshirt junior made the announcement on his Instagram. Kelly earned the starting job at the tail end of last year after competition among other Ball State QBs. The now former Cardinal has 2 years of eligibility remaining. He ends his Ball State career with 600 passing yards, 807 rush yards, and 9 total touchdowns. A new face is wrapping up their first year at Ball State. NewsLink Indiana's Jake Garcia sits down with the head of Ball State Athletics.
Ball State Athletics is so much more than what is seen on game day.
First-year athletics director Jeff Mitchell loves what he has been witness to from the Cardinals this season.
Well, I think the first year has been full of excitement. It's been a pleasure to be at Ball State. I think what strikes me as being our biggest accomplishment is just the success that we've enjoyed as an athletics department.
Over the year, Mitchell and company have worked to better facilities for all Ball State athletes.
I believe it's energy creating. So our students are energized by the fact that we are doing some cosmetic upgrades, that we do have plans for new facilities, and we're looking forward to what those facilities are going to do for our student athletes.
Mitchell also takes pride in Ball State's ability to emphasize the student in student athlete.
For all 19 of our sports to have a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or better in the fall term of the 2023-24 academic year is pretty remarkable.
With the first year having come and gone, the culture that has been built is a great foundation for the department.
Yeah, I think we're a department that's rooted in positivity. We are working on our communication, and we are a helpful bunch. There's no greater compliment that can be given to someone than to be called a great teammate, and I believe that we have a department full of great teammates.
As improvements continue to happen, Jeff Mitchell and the rest of the department will continue to create great environments for all of Ball State athletics. In Muncie, Jake Garcia, NewsLink, Indiana.
Stepping up to the plate, Ball State baseball looks to get back on a winning streak. After losing the final game of the series against Miami of Ohio, the Cardinals look to sweep the Zips of Akron. NewsLink Indiana's Dakota Atwood has more.
Ball State baseball winning 11 of their last 12 and outscoring their opponents by 43 runs on that stretch. Led by catcher Hunter Dobbins, the bats stay hot and hit moonshots.
I mean, a lot of people were confident in me today because of how I've been doing. So everybody was kind of surrounded around me, and when I got to the plate, the ball just looked like a beach ball.
It was a Dobbins show throughout the weekend against Akron. With 4 home runs and 10 RBIs while being a wall behind the plate, he gives his thoughts on his performance.
Feels good. I've been working pretty hard, trying to get back to where I was, so it felt good to finally put up a weekend like this.
The Cardinals completed the sweep, and manager Rich Maloney shouts out everyone on the team's performance.
Then certainly putting Nate Blaine into the bullpen. Twice he did great Friday and Sunday to calm the storm and let us have a chance to win the games. Beaker and Johnson have been pitching great. So you got Blaine, Klein, Beaker and Johnson going well, defense playing well, and then our bats did a pretty good job this weekend, and certainly Hunter Dobbins really showed up in a big, big way.
Once at the bottom of the MAC conference, head manager Rich Maloney gives his thoughts on climbing the MAC mountain.
Now we put ourselves in the mix, which we were a long way off a few weeks ago. But to the kids' credit, they stayed the course. We put ourselves in the mix. We still got a long way to go. We got to win. We still got to win a lot of games. Hey, man, we'll keep fighting the good fight and playing as hard as we can and trying to get better.
The Cardinals head to West Lafayette April 16th to take on the Boilermakers. In Muncie, Dakota Atwood, NewsLink, Indiana.
From the court to the stage, the WNBA draft is tonight, and the Indiana Fever were on the clock with the first pick. And with the first pick, the Fever select Caitlin Clark. Clark took the college basketball world by storm this year, leading the Hawkeyes to back-to-back title games in March Madness and averaging over 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. Clark is also the record holder for most points in college basketball history, both for the men and women. But the Clark effect does just as much off the court. 90% of the Fever's games will be nationally televised compared to a lone one game last season. Clark will look to turn the Fever organization around this WNBA season in Indy, and I'm going to have to make a phone call to my doctor, set up an appointment, because I've caught the fever as well. I am excited for Miss Caitlin Clark to show out in Indianapolis.
She's just truly been amazing, and not only has she really done so much for women's basketball, but for women in sports as an athlete myself. Just what she's done for is just amazing. It's really amazing.
Absolutely. Watching her this season in the college playoffs, just going absolutely crazy and setting those records, amazing. And I'm looking forward to watching some Fever games as well. So I'll be calling the doctor as well to get set an appointment as well.
I think we're going to have a lot of appointments scheduled in the state of Indiana.
I think so. Well, thank you so much, Jace. Coming up, we are saying goodbye to 2 special seniors.
And we have one final look at weather next.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Of course.
Yes. Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right? I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own. And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go, babe. I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. And like we've been talking about all night, the weather is really, we love the weather today and we're looking forward to the weather, but obviously we got some severe weather, so can you talk a little more about that, Oliver?
Oh yeah, we have some storms in the forecast, especially there on Wednesday afternoon. Could be seeing a decrease in temperatures as we make our way into the weekend. 59 degrees there on Saturday, but absolutely peachy keen conditions as we go into Monday and the beginning of next week.
Well, thank you so much, Oliver. And before we go, we are wishing two special seniors a goodbye tonight on their last show. First, Oliver Moster has been a member of NewsLink Indiana since 2021 as a weather forecaster. He also served as the assistant chief weather forecaster during 2023. Oliver, the floor is yours to share your experience within NewsLink Indiana.
Thank you very much, Abby. Wow, what a time this has been. Most people in weather have a specific weather event that they can name when they say how I got into weather. But for me, it was just passing this newsroom on my way to get Atrium Chick-fil-A and saying, hey, I need to be at this desk. So I asked my advisor what it would take to do news, and that was a double major. I didn't want to do that in 3 years, so I said, oh, weather should be easy. And after thermodynamics, differential equations, and synoptic meteorology, I am finally 2 weeks away from it being all over. I always thought news would be the path I'd take, but maybe it was destined for me to be a weather person. What you're about to see is a clip taken from a news segment my siblings and I did in 2012, and a 10-year-old me giving quite the weather report.
There's a tornado going through Tornado Alley. It's very, very small, but it still counts as an F-150. Get it? F-150.
That little me got wrong. An EF-150 is not a small tornado. That'd be bigger than a hurricane if that existed. After I graduate, I will be joining the weather team up at ABC 57 in South Bend, where I will be the morning weekend meteorologist. All right, now that that's out of the way, some thank yous are in order. All right. Thank you to all the friends and family that have supported me along the way, specifically the Jouch House. Long live the Jouch House. Hope for being an outstanding chief and head of the weather department for these past 2 years. Jack for the astronomical amount of laughs. If I ever forget Halloween 2022, I'm probably dead. Abso for the laughs and the breaks from the stress of school. Everyone in NewsLink for quite the community that we have built. Grace, Alex, Anna, Corinne, Elvin for all the hard work they have done to make this the best year through all of the technical difficulties. Joey and Grace for the constant support and a shoulder to lean on when times get tough. To my aunts, uncles, grandparents with us physically and spiritually, thank you for the kind words and advice through the years. Mom and Dad for always pushing me to be my very best and coming to all my little things, from announcing high school soccer games to high school theater productions to collegiate improv to this show right now. And finally, Keegan and Boo for being my first co-anchors, not only in our stuffed animal news shows, but in this crazy thing we call life. Thank you to everyone, and if we can get that camera back up. I love you, I love you, I love you. That's it. Let's go home.
Well, thank you so much, Oliver. You've definitely been a great addition to this news organization, and I'm so excited for what you are going to be doing next. And my co-anchor, Daniel Hochstetler, is also saying goodbye tonight. Daniel joined NewsLink Indiana in 2021 as a trending anchor. He has also served as a production team member since then. This year, Daniel joined the news desk as an anchor and reporter with me. And Daniel, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, it's been a great 4 years that I've been here, and I will miss every single part of this. Yes, I started as a trending anchor, and yes, that's how old I am. We don't have a trending anchor anymore, so figure that, you know. And then I got into production for my 3 years, and then last semester I decided to do anchoring and reporting because I got the job that at WNDU in South Bend. I'll be a competitor of Oliver Moster right here. Yes. So, but anyway, it's been great, and some thank yous, of course. Well, I don't have an award like the Grammys do when they have like their thank yous and stuff like that. But I want to thank my family, of course, my parents for always supporting me through my journey and and just being there with me all times. And I want to thank the production people. Of course, the production people are freaking fantastic. Those 3 years were great. Just playing games, chilling, and just listening to Corinne's music. Those are the only music we really only listen to, but it was great nonetheless. And I also want to thank personally Alex Almanza for helping me get the job at WNDU. He helped me get in contact with the people at WNDU and helping me get the job that I was looking for. And honestly, I did not think I was going to get into news because I always wanted to be an actor. You know, as you can see, I look like I could be in show business. You know,
I think so.
But then I was like, you know what, that wasn't. I don't think that could happen. So I decided to go into news. So, and I think this is the perfect spot for me to be able to tell people stories visually and tell it. So, thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much. I mean, honestly, you guys have done amazing things for this newsroom, and I'm so excited for what we both are going to do. So,
and one more thing, Abby. I know that you're my co-anchor and stuff, so don't replace me too quickly.
I know.
Because I don't think I'm replaceable. But so just please.
No,
please
never,
don't.
Daniel,
I
never.
appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news, anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.